Imagine if all are made to undergo the tests to detect the disease. I will not be surprised that the numbers will increase manifold. So it is really scary to learn from the data published by the National AIDS Control Organization the status of Meghalaya as far as HIV and AIDS is concerned. According to the Sansalak 6th edition published by NACO in 2024, Meghalaya's status in HIV and STI is 0.54%, 7th highest in India against the national average of 0.22%, and 3rd in the Northeast. It was reported that there are emerging pockets of HIV-AIDS indicate STI concerns in the state of Meghalaya. The contribution towards the HIV in Meghalaya, according to the report of the Sansalak, comes from the general population, which shows that the virus is in the community itself. The reason is because the virus is allowed to spread without detection. Moreover, sir, according to the 5th edition 2023, the Sansalak, Meghalaya ranked first in the prevalence of syphilis seropositivity or STIs, with 8.4%, to be followed by Mizoram by 1.something% only, sir. However, no mention was made in the 6th edition about this. Therefore, I feel that as a state, we need to know what is the current status as far as STI is concerned. So, how do we spread? How do we stop the spread of the disease when we are not in a position to know with whom we are in contact? Can we allow the disease to go silently without being noticed? I know that the argument will be, how can we compromise the dignity of people suffered with AIDS and HIV? No doubt, it is a genuine concern, sir. I understand. So if we decide that the identity of the people suffered with the disease should be kept in confidential, then I don't know how we will be able to stop the spread of the disease. Even the law does not allow to disclose the identity of people living with HIV. However, sir, I feel that it would not be fair also if our concentration is too much about the dignity of a person contracted with the disease and forget about the safety of the innocent people. So it would not be wrong to say that there is a need to classify between people with HIV into two categories, that is the victim and the culprit. So what we learned from these problems was that we are facing a very peculiar situation where the wrongdoer, the criminals, gets protection and the right and honest and innocent people have to live in fear. I, for one, would like to tell in a very categorical terms, sir, that if I have to choose between protecting the right, the honest, and the innocent people, and the criminal, I would definitely choose to protect the right, the honest, and the innocent, because it is for that reason only that I've been called for, sir. It may be too hard to take a decision, sir, I understand. I strongly feel that if we really want to check the spread of the disease, the government shall have to strike a balance between the dignity of the victims and the safety of the innocent people. So we need to look at this problem from a wider perspective and adopt a holistic approach to eradicate this problem and achieve the intended goal of the government to make Meghalaya a drug-free state and reduce the number of people with HIV, sir. Sir, to my mind, there is a misplaced priority in the campaign against the spread of the disease. We have to carefully evaluate the people's acceptance as far as the campaign is concerned. I strongly feel, sir, that the government needs to stress on positive campaign rather than negative campaign. I believe that positive campaign will yield positive result. We need to also keep in mind the mentality and the mindset of the tribal community. Therefore, sir, the priority of the campaign should be more on morality and ethical values. Instead of encouraging the people to have sex with the use of condom to prevent the spread of AIDS or HIV, it would be better to teach our children not to have sex before marriage. And this has to be the priority and the main stress in the campaign, sir. In the sideline, of course, we can also highlight the danger of careless engagement in any sexual activities that may lead into the danger of contracting HIV and AIDS. It may sound too idealistic for some people. However, I am of the firm belief, sir, that this kind of campaign will have a very good response, and the people will be more receptive to this kind of campaign. And in the long run, it will make the people to take marriage seriously with a sense of responsibility. We also need to explain and tell our children about the sanctity of marriage. I think we are all familiar with this verse in the scripture, which says that the wages of sin is death, or the outcome of sin is death. When we go deep into the problem of this problem, sir, that we are facing today, we have to admit that this is a curse that God has brought upon us. Therefore, we need to mend our ways as the community. Further, there is no other better way than what it is written in the scriptures and the teaching, and that is, train up a child in the way he should go, and he will never depart from it, even when he is old. Moreover, it is also written that a youngster's heart is filled with foolishness, but physical discipline will drive it far away. Or foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it far away from him. Therefore, sir, it is necessary for us to understand the need to start teaching our children about good morals and values from a very young age. I am sure that none of us in this August house will teach our children or encourage them to have sex, protected sex before marriage. We may have committed mistakes in our lives, but I'm sure we will never wish our children to commit the same mistake as we did, sir. I feel we need to introduce a course about marriage as an institution. As one of the syllabi in the educational institution, targeting the young minds by portraying a strong bond of family derived from a very good relation as a result of a good and strong foundational background, sir. So let us now resolve to build strong families by inculcating into the minds of our children the values, virtues, and positive character only. Remember that a nation without a character has no future, sir. I also strongly felt that young minds should not be allowed to be corrupted under any circumstances. So we may not see immediate result, but I assure this August House that the future of our state will be brighter and safer. With these submissions, sir,
it is about to be 2 o'clock, but I will extend the House for 1 more hour. So any members who wish to speak may also raise their hands or send me a slip. I have received a note from Ba Renigton El Tongkar